After a brutal day like today, I think it's worth circling back to companies that have already reported strong results and that also won't really be impacted, say, by the vicissitudes of economies around the world or even a Federal Reserve that could be too hawkish. Take Zoetis, ZTS, the largest animal health company on Earth, a maker of vaccines and medicines for both pets and livestock. They call them companion animals. I like that. With a stock that's up around 10% since we spoke to the CEO last November. Now, we know that Zoetis posted a very robust quarter on Tuesday, even as the stock didn't really react much. The company delivered a 5-cent earnings beat off a 38-cent basis, higher than expected revenues, and better still, management raised their full-year sales and earnings forecast. Yet right now, the stock's actually trading a few nickels and dimes below where it was when the company reported. Here's a company that's getting a lot of new drug approvals, cutting costs, $300 million through 2017, and it just exited Venezuela, which we know has been a positive for every company that's done that. Let's not forget famed activist Bill Ackman's Pershing Square owns more than 8% of Zoetis, and Ackman makes things happen when he gets involved, which is why Mondelez managed to be able to do pretty well on an otherwise bad tape. Given the excellent quarter Zoetis just reported, I think this stock could be exactly the kind of thing that you buy on a day like today, where it feels like everything's getting dinged. Don't take it from me. Let's check in with Juan Ramon Aleix. He's the CEO of Zoetis to hear more about the quarter and his company's prospects. Mr. Aleix, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Well, it seems ever since your company got spun off from Pfizer, it's one thing after another. It's cattle being very expensive, got to take care of them. Swine, we've had flu. We've had chicken illnesses. Is this just endemic and Zoetis is in the sweet spot, or has something really happened that made it so that the herds of animals that we've all, we end up eating get sick too much?
Well, the animals get sick.
Yeah.
And we provide treatments to make them better.
But does it, it almost seems like that you're the crisis guy that everybody seems to call when it happens.
Yeah, but I think that even if there are outbreaks, which is something that happens from time to time, it happened in Europe, in the US, and in other geographies, I think it's something that is part of the business, is part of producers identifying how to treat these animals and make these animals healthy and productive.
In other words, it's not a one-off thing. We should just expect, as the world gets bigger and more people are added that need to be fed, that this is just going to be a constant issue, the health of the livestock.
It will be a constant issue. The opportunity here, it's companies that will identify the issue,
right,
and will bring solutions to mitigate the risk or the impact in their production.
But it seems like in terms of developments and research and some of the great things you're doing, it's in companion animals. Atopic dermatitis, a drug that helps for severe vomiting of cats and dogs. This must be an area that has got great growth given the fact that people love their pets so much.
Well, we have a lot of products in companion animal, also in livestock.
Right. What
we introduced last year, it was Apoquel, that it was a product for itchy dogs.
Right.
Now, this quarter, we announced IL-31, which is a product that also will be in the same area, dermatology, and also will be complementary to Apoquel. And it's a great demonstration of the innovation that we can bring to the market.
There's been a bit of a problem with the supply versus demand on this, right? Because of some manufacturing issues?
That's correct.
Is that going to be past us by year end?
I think we are making a significant progress on improving the process of manufacturing. We have the capacity.
Okay.
And the scale up of manufacturing presented some challenge. We have now fixed that, and we expect that the product will increase in terms of supply, and in 2016 will be meeting all customer demand.
Excellent. Okay, recently we had a Delivering Alpha conference here at CNBC, and I got to interview Bill Ackman. And I asked him about his stake in Zoetis. He's got about 8%. He says, I'm just getting to know him. I have to give him enormous credit. In a very short period of time, they have announced a major restructuring program that's going to make the company more efficient. How are the interactions with your largest shareholder?
Well, I think they are very positive. We have now a representative of Pershing Square in our board.
Right.
And it's good to have the perspective of an important shareholder in the discussion with our board. So I think the collaboration is going very well. The discussions are excellent, and the board and the management team of Zoetis is focused on performance, is focused on creating a value to our shareholders.
So Ackman's, let's call him a constructive activist in terms of offering ideas to you.
Well, I think it's something that, in my opinion, the collaboration that we have in the board, the discussion that we have in the board, are showing that the collaboration is working well.
Okay, one last question. There have been a lot of companies that have been in the food chain that have been saying, listen, we're taking the growth, some of these artificial hormones out, the genetic modified things. What's your view on that? I mean, you are about saving and curing illnesses. Do you think that the younger generation, the millennials, are far off when they're worried about genetically modified beef and genetically modified pigs and chicken?
Well, my position here is that I respect any kind of customer preferences. Having said that, in my opinion, today, to feed the world, we need to use technology.
Okay.
And it's not only quantity, it's affordability. Definitely, you can produce all organic, but in limited quantities, and a price that many people will not be able to pay.
All right, you're an expert, and I had to ask you that because I think you know more about animal health than anybody's ever come on the show. That's Juan Ramon Aleix. He's the CEO of Zoetis, which is about as bulletproof a stock as you're going to find in a very tough market. Stick with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.